Good morning, everyone. Come on in. We're going to give just a second for everyone to come in and join us. But while we are waiting, I want to thank our replay viewers for coming and checking us out. If you're not sure whether or not you're here on the replay, if it doesn't say live up above my head here on Buffy's Toolbox group, then you are here for the replay. And you can still go ahead and comment. Please know that for some reason, I still am not receiving notifications when people comment on any of the posts or any of the videos, but I do come back to try to check through and kind of browse through and see if there's anything that I've missed. So if for any reason I ever miss a comment or you ask a question and I don't get back to you, please go ahead, feel free to reach out to me through Facebook message, and let me know that there was a question asked that perhaps wasn't touched on yet. If you're joining us on YouTube, don't forget, if you'd like to be a part of the live interaction and you are, in fact, a Premier Designs jeweler, please feel free to come over to the Buffy's Toolbox group and be able to follow there so you can be a part of the live interaction and be here to chat with us. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you all for coming in. I so appreciate you guys being here. So today we are going to touch a little bit on retail. Okay. So now here's what I'll tell you. I am not necessarily a retail queen. Okay. But I will say that my average retail per show is probably closer to the $600 mark. So it's a little above average. I guess national average is about 500. So it's a little bit higher than that as far as what my average is. Thank you, Susan. I'm glad that you could be here. So I just want to share just a couple of quick things and some of the different things that I'm kind of looking at starting to do. Okay. So first I'm going to share with you what I've already been doing. Okay. Because I feel like this already has been helpful in terms of raising that average for me. There was a point in time where my average was closer to about 400. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning from Arizona. Good morning, Miss Tanya. All right. So at one point in time, my average was definitely closer to that $400 range, and now it's closer to the $600 range. So I do feel like this has helped. But there's some other things that I'm thinking I might kind of throw into the mix a little bit. So first, let me share with you what I already do. Okay. So one of the first things that I will share is that I show complete sets at my shows for my fashion segments. Okay. So meaning, now when I say complete set, it doesn't mean that it's a matching bracelet, necklace, and earring set that are a part of like the same ensemble. Okay. But what I do is I show complete looks, as in I show them 2 necklaces, a pair of earrings, bracelets, ring, watch. Okay. So it is like the full thing, because here's the thing. Many of the people who are coming to our shows, first off, yes, we have amazing versatility built right into our jewelry. And yes, we should touch on a handful of those. Okay. But for most people coming to our shows, they're not going to do the 30 different ways with one necklace. Okay. Most of them, if you start covering too many things, too many versatility tricks with just one necklace, they're going to start getting very overwhelmed, and they're going to think, you know what, I need to have like, you know, a bachelor's degree just to be able to figure out how to work this necklace. Okay. And instead of looking at something that really is so simple and is truly made to make their life easier and give them more bang for their buck, they might instead look at it as it's too complicated and they can't figure it out. Even though all they need to do is just put it around their neck. They don't have to do all the tricks, okay? But sometimes they get caught up in that. For those that those kind of details just scare the daylights out of them, okay? And then you're going to have other people who are like, no, show me more. Like, let me see this. Let me see what all this thing can do. Okay. So you got to kind of find that happy medium. So what I would say is don't show more than 2 things that one necklace can do. But you could mention, you know what, ladies, there's some additional things. And in fact, one of the other things you could do, and you might just like mention it, but not necessarily show it. So one of the things that I like to do is with my versatility pieces, okay, with my fashion segment pieces, basically what it is that I'm trying to do is with each of those sets, I try to show a different technique. Okay, so as an example, the first look that I do is showing London Fog short, as well as framing it with the total eclipse. Okay, and then I have the earrings and bracelets and watch and all that kind of stuff. But I'm showing them how you can take the London Fog and be able to wear it short, wear it long, or that even that little removable enhancer can pop off of there, and that can be added to a different necklace and that kind of thing. And just kind of real quick, like touching on those things. Like I'm like, look, ladies, you see how I have this worn short, but look, all you do is you take this little toggle out and look, now you can wear it long. This can also be removed. You can even use this as a great lanyard necklace. So if you work somewhere where you have an ID that you have to keep with you, this piece might be great for that. And then I move to the next one. Okay. And then the next look that I'm showing them is the buttercup necklace, and that it's reversible. Then I show how great that looks framed with the blush necklace. And I let them know that our blush necklace comes with 3 different individual strands that can all be worn independently. So essentially what I'm doing is with each look, I'm showing them 2 pieces, and I'm explaining how versatile those 2 pieces are, without showing them everything that those 2 pieces can do, okay? But it's not just a matter of me focusing on the necklaces, which is what I originally did at the beginning. In my beginning years, okay, I kept looking at it as, you know what, why don't I don't need to have that many like earrings, bracelets, whatever, because all that stuff can be interchanged. I'd rather spend the majority of my money on necklaces, which is still true, okay? But at my shows, I want to show a complete look. I want to build that vision for them. Not just say, here's a great necklace, but then for those who don't have the vision to be able to pick something else out, guess what they do now? This, okay? I know my thing got a little messed up here for one hot second. Let me take, okay. It was on I think it was on a different Wi-Fi, and it just like reconnected to a different one. So sorry if that get a little wonky. Okay. Oh my goodness, this Wi-Fi today. Hang on one second. Let me. I don't know. Okay. Look, this is another hand-me-down from my mama. No idea. I'll have to look at the tag later and post it. It's another hand-me-down from my mom. One of the ones that I kept, though. Okay, so anyway, so you want to make sure that you are showing that complete look. Because if you are showing that you can take this necklace and then pair it with these earrings that might not even be found on the same page, which means they would have had to like go through and find them in the catalog. Does this make sense? Okay, so basically making it so easy for them that they can then come to you and say, that whole look, I want that. Like, figure out what we can do to get that look for this amount, and whatever I can't get here, I'll get it the next show. Okay? So it just makes it easy for them. It's kind of, well, I'll get to that part here in a second. Okay? So the other thing that I do with that, as many of you know, is that I do have a fashion show sheet that I have all the names of all my pieces written down, so they can essentially be doing a checklist and creating a wish list for themselves as we go throughout the fashion segment. Because otherwise, what happens? Once you have shown them so many different like tips and tricks and different pieces and everything, by the time you get to the last thing, even though I'm only showing 3 looks, by the time we get to the last look, they might have already forgotten what was in look number 1, unless they would have checkmarked that off. So it is a great thing to have that, because again, that can help them build their wish list. When they're building their wish list, it typically is going to mean, for one, that they're able to check out faster, okay, because they already know what they want. For 2, it might lead to them scheduling a show, because if their wish list is bigger than their budget, hello, they might just want to wind up, you know, doing a show instead. But also, it just kind of helps them feel like Well, look, all she did was have a solid color shirt and a pair of jeans, and she had this look, and it looked awesome. So I can do that same thing. I can duplicate that. Okay. Does that make sense? All right. So now the other thing behind that is then offering a special. Okay. Now I know that Premier has this amazing special coming out for April. Okay. Which is the gift with purchase. Okay. So purchase 75, receive a $50 item for $10. Amazing. Okay. But here's the thing. You could also add to that if you wanted to. One of the specials the special that I offer all the time, because it doesn't cost me a dime, is purchase 75 and receive a 50% off item in addition to their order. Okay. So they already purchased 75. And now, by the way, that is after any discounts have been taken. So if I have a previous hostess there who I am giving 20% off, when I take her 20% off, if she is 75 or above after that discount is taken, then she can choose another item at 50%. Okay. If after I take her off her 20%, she's under the 75, she does not qualify for the 50% off item. Does that make sense? So that is the way that I work it when there's no other customer special for Premier. Okay. Now, what I am thinking about adding to this, okay, because here's the thing, during the month of April, they have that awesome special of purchase 75, get a $50 item for $10. But what if you sweeten the deal to say, and when you purchase $100 or more, you can add any additional item of your choice 50% off. So what that means is they would have purchased 75 to be able to get the $50 item for 10, which takes them to 85. Then if they add just $15 more, they can get another item at half off any item they want. Okay. So in essence, you're allowing them to kind of bundle that look that you just showed them. Okay. Now I've heard some people say, they're like, well, I typically do like a purchase necklace and earrings, get the bracelet half off. Okay. But here's the only thing that I would say to that is then you are limiting them to a bracelet that is within, our bracelets only retail for so much. Do you know what I'm saying? So the CB on a bracelet is not going to be as much credit as the CB on a watch, as an example. Okay. So that's the one thing that I look at is I'm going, especially when we are doing different contests and awards and things like that are based off of CB, I want that CB to be higher. So I would rather allow them the opportunity and bless them with an amazing deal by saying you can get anything you want at 50% off once you met that purchase requirement, if you will. Okay. So it's one of those where you could do that. The other thing that you could do is you could do a gift with purchase. Okay. This is something, gift with purchase is something that I tend to do sometimes around the holidays, where I'll say for every $75 purchase, receive one $25 gift card to give to a loved one. Okay. Or it might be for every $100 purchase, whatever. But what you might want to look at, especially for those of you who have Hood and House, I'm sure there's probably an easy way to figure this out and I'm sure they have a report somewhere. Okay. But you might want to take a look at your numbers for your last, maybe your last couple months and just find out what is your average customer order. Okay. And once you find out what your average customer order is, let's say your average customer order is only $40. Well, then you might not want to set the bar at 75 because nobody might ever hit that. Does that make sense? So instead of, if your average host or your average customer order rather is only at $40, you might want to say for every $50 purchase, they could do this or something along those lines. Or if your average order is already around 75, bump it up to 100 and say that for every $100 purchased, you can receive any additional item of choice at 50%. The biggest thing is just to give them an incentive for there to be just a tiny bit more, okay? And then that is not only going to help you, it's not only going to help your CD, but it is also going to help your hostess in getting more free jewelry, okay? So that is the awesome thing to that. And here's the thing, people love getting a deal. Do you not understand why like Costco, Sam's Club, things like that are so big? People love getting a deal, okay? So thank you, Vicki. Thank you for that. All right. So one of the things that I'm looking at doing is I'm already doing fairly well with the purchase 75, get another item 50% off. But I think what I'm going to do is I believe I'm going to add, but that when they purchase $100 worth, that they could get 2 items at half off. And it can be any additional items that they would like to add once they have reached the $100 mark. Because again, we're talking about them, like I would have already made $50 off of that one order if they spent $100 on suggested retail price items. I don't need to, like, I want to bless them because they have blessed me with that size of an order, okay? But then offering the half price, not only is it helping them by blessing them, by giving them an amazing deal, but it is also going to benefit the hostess and it's also going to benefit your CB. Okay, so that can be a great way to raise your retail by just offering those little things. Some people, like I said, some people choose to do gift with purchase. That gift with purchase can be another gift of bling from you. Okay, so that might be an extra $10, extra $10 gift certificate or $25 gift certificate or whatever, based on however much it is that they choose to purchase. Because if you do that, they're coming back to you to use that. Does that make sense? Okay, like I have seen where it's like, oh, gift with purchase, spend 75 and receive a scarf. Okay, but I am trying to build repeat customers. I'm trying to build people coming back to me and building that relationship and that loyalty with me. So for me, I would rather give a gift certificate of a decent sized value that's going to mean that they're going to come back to me, or that their friend or family member is going to come to me now because they have free jewelry to purchase. Okay. So, and keep in mind that anything that you're offering in terms of free jewelry, if you're offering $10 free, that's only costing you $5. Well, if you're doing that for a $75 or $100 purchase, like, that's like nothing. That is like a drop in the bucket. You know what I mean? So the theory is to be very generous. And in being generous, they're going to continue to want to do business with you. Good morning, Kimberly. And so in doing that, you are building that relationship and building that loyalty. And again, giving them a reason to come back to you. So I know that didn't take us our full 30 minutes, but I also wanted to make sure that there was some time there for any questions of any of those things, or if anybody has anything else that they would like to share. If you have any specials that have just like knocked the socks off of your customers, feel free to go ahead and put those in the comment stream, because I'm sure people would love to hear them and be able to get some different ideas. Because here's the thing, again, what works well at one show might not go over the same way at the next show. Okay. So, and it might even be that you need to know the customers of who you're going to. You might have one group of friends or one group of customers that you just know the retail for that particular group is lower than the retail from another group. So maybe at this group, you're going to be starting your special with every $50 purchase. And maybe with this group, you're going to be starting that special with every $100 purchase. Okay. That's the awesome thing, is this is your own business and you can choose to change up any special that you're offering. The only thing that I would say is make sure that you are clear on the special that you are getting ready to offer at that show when you're ready to offer it. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Like, you don't want to be starting to say, so with every $50, with every $100 purchase. Okay. Cause they're going to be like, seriously, like she just totally changed that up. Right. So make sure that you are confident and you know exactly what special you're offering. And if you need to, listen, have two different, pages in your flip chart if you use one that's for one special, one that's for the other. And then you can choose which one you're going to show when you're doing your flip chart. Just remember they're both in there and make sure that the one that you want them to see is the one that's facing out. Okay, so that's all I would say if you're going to choose to do some different. Me personally, I just leave it $75 across the board for every single show. Is what I have found works for me personally. I know some other people, they choose to kind of cater to their specific audience. But just knowing what the average order is that typically comes through most of my shows, that's why I have it at the 75, because my average is probably closer to like the 55 to 60 range. So this is giving them an extra reward for going just a little above. Okay. Kim says, with every $40 spent, get any charm half price. Awesome new charms collection. Yes. Yes. And I've already seen a lot of people where they're doing the, like purchase of either the Keep It Personal necklace or the bracelet, and saying that with every purchase of that, select one free color charm or something like that, because the color charms are like $6, so it's only costing you $3, and they would have had to purchase whatever to get there. So yeah, you can totally create your own, and you can have a different one every month if you want. That's totally up to you. But here's what I will say: so many times, and y'all know this, you've seen this. So many times I see people like chomping at the bit by like the second week in March, as an example, going, oh my goodness, is Premier not doing anything in April? Is there like no promotion? Like, where's the promotion? I didn't see one. Did I miss it? And getting panicky, thinking there's not going to be a special. But here's the thing. We get a chance to offer a special anytime we want. All right. So don't wait on Premier. Do your own special. And then if Premier winds up announcing that they're doing something else, look, you can say, listen, ladies, there's 2 specials that you can take advantage of. And we will take a look at your order and your situation to see which one is going to make the most sense for you, which one is going to be most beneficial for you. Okay. That's the beauty of it. So a lot of times, even when Premier is offering the purchase 75, get a $50 item for 10, I always tell them, but listen, if that extra item you want is more than $50, I'll give it to you at half off. Okay. And sometimes people take advantage of that. But when they take advantage of that, I still tell them, now listen, you still went over the 75. So if there's a second item, okay, so let's say they do the 75 and then they say, look, I really want to get this watch and that's way more than $50. So can I get that at half price? And I'm like, sure. But don't forget, if there's another item you want that's under 50, you can do both specials together. Okay. There's nothing saying that you can't. Okay. All right. Rachel says, do you ever offer a specific jewelry set or bundles at a discount? I do not. I don't. Here's why. I would rather it be that that it's appealing to everyone, regardless of whether that specific ensemble is this person's taste or not. So I would rather do it as a dollar amount to say, when you reach this, you get this. And just so then that way they're able to do that. Marjorie says, I'm not sure if you mentioned this. I was in and out. Are you offering gift with purchase and you're half off with? So as you were typing that, or as that was coming through, I probably literally just covered that, because yes, when Premier is doing their gift with purchase, I still say if the extra item that you want is more than $50, I'm going to let you get that at half off. But then don't forget, you can still take advantage of Premiers because you still would have purchased over 75. So you can still take advantage of that if there is another item you want that's under 50. Okay. So then sometimes I have people taking advantage of my half price and Premier's gift with purchase on the same order. Okay. So it's really kind of a neat way to, again, reward them for doing business with you and for doing business with Premier, but also that's increasing the CV so that it's helping out your hostess, which in turn also helps you by increasing your CV and allowing you to get more points toward different awards and all that kind of stuff. So, so that is just what I have. So again, I'm going to very quickly just kind of do the rundown because I know that we were kind of in and out and it was breaking all up. So just in case anybody was having a hard time following. So the first thing is keep it simple. Okay. Don't feel like you have to show them all 30 ways that one necklace or those two necklaces can work well together, because most people, it's too much information. It's going to overwhelm them. And then they may not purchase either because they'll think they're too complicated. So keep it simple. Okay. The second thing was show complete sets. Don't focus just on the versatility of necklaces. Show them how awesome our earrings are, how awesome the bracelets are, the watches, the rings, etc. Talk to them about watch buddies. I've talked about this like at all of my shows, basically, like, I hate to say kind of in joke, but kind of, where I'm like, oh, and ladies, don't forget your watch needs a buddy. Don't ever let your watch be by himself. When you're going to have an arm party over here, you need to make sure that your watch is, has a friend as well. And I just kind of like laugh it off. But I can't tell you the number of ladies who would come up to me after a show and be like, I've never heard of a watch buddy. I always thought if I had just my watch on that I wasn't supposed to put anything else over here. So I'm going to have to get me a watch buddy bracelet. And and they're like dead serious about it. Like it is, I love it. I love seeing people like all of a sudden be like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And I need one of those. Okay. And that is our job as a jeweler, is to show them what they can do with these accessories. Don't just leave it to just the necklaces, because, okay, real quick, as jewelry ladies, would we ever leave the house? Would we ever want to leave the house in just a necklace? Or are we going to want earrings and bracelets and rings and watches? Okay. Chances are, like, we go outside of the house with a complete set, with a complete ensemble. Why are we not teaching our customers and our hostesses how to get a complete set, even if they're not on the same page in the catalog? Okay. It's important for them to see that it's not just, oh, I opened this. Okay. Well, these earrings are on the same page, so I guess these are the earrings that go with it. When you're showing them, look, you can pair this with this and this with this and this with this, and they get a chance to see a couple different looks. Now, like I said, I only show 3, but they are 3 complete sets, complete ensembles, okay? Because I'm not a huge fan of like the matching sets. I don't know why. I don't know. I guess that's just a difference in my personality compared to some people. But I'm not a huge fan of like matchy-matchy. I like things to be complementary of one another, but not necessarily matchy-matchy, okay? So I show 3 complete ensembles, but listen, when you're talking about each ensemble showing a minimum of probably $300 worth of jewelry, that's like $900 worth of jewelry, maybe even $1,000 worth of jewelry that's shown in 3 quick looks, okay? If you were showing only necklaces, how many necklaces would you have to show to be showing that retail amount of jewelry, and also in that amount of time? Okay. Because my fashion segment only takes me maybe 15 minutes. So it would be really hard to show them $1,000 worth of necklaces that they wouldn't be like, oh my word, this is too much, too much, too much, too much. Okay. But when you are simply showing an ensemble, it shows them how they can go achieve this look on their own. Okay. And then also be willing to do either gift with purchase, even when Premier is not offering one, or even to do the purchase 75, get a 50% off item free, or purchase 100, get 50% off items. And they love the fact, because many times what they'll say is they'll go, okay, so if I purchase 75 and I get a 50% off item, does that 50% off item have to be the least expensive? And I'm like, listen, when you purchase $75 worth of suggested price, okay, when that says 75, you qualify for a 50% off item, and it can be any item out of the catalog, no retail limit. I saw you eyeing up that watch. That watch can also be received at 50% off. And they're like, oh, and immediately they're like, okay, I'll be back. It also helps to have those specials that if somebody is at, say, $70, to be able to say, do you realize that if you had just $5 more on here, you would qualify for a 50% off item, any item that you want out of that catalog in addition to what you're already getting? And they're going, oh, I forgot about that. Well, what do you have that might just be around like that $5 mark? You know what? We have these beautiful color charms that you can add to any of your necklaces, bracelets, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, so know what's in your catalog, know what you have. You can also have a price list that you could have like in the back of your flip chart or things like that, that when they say, oh, I'm only $9 away, what do you have that might get me to $9? Okay. And you could open up that price list and say, okay, this is what we have that would get you close to that. All right. So those are just some extra things that are going to not only help benefit them, benefit your hostess, but it's going to benefit you in the long run, because they're going to be like, look, that girl, she gives away like so much stuff. Like, you need to go buy from her. Okay. I hope that makes sense to you. So that is what I have for you. I'm so glad that it was helpful to y'all. I so appreciate that. And tomorrow is our Wisdom Wednesday. So I have a little something special to share with you tomorrow. Okay. So, what I'll say is anyone who went to the Warminster, Pennsylvania training on the 13th, it is going to be a repeat of that training. Okay. If you were not at the Warminster, PA training on the 13th, you're going to want to tune in. Okay. So I will be back tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern time. So look forward to seeing you guys again. Thanks so much for being here. I so appreciate that. These little trainings, or whatever we want to call them. Okay. I still haven't figured out what I want to call them. Listen, I have been seeing some of the suggestions and I love them, except I don't want it to be about me. I don't want it to be like Time with Buffy or what. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want it to be like something that's cuter than broadcast or scope or training. Maybe we'll just call them nuggets. Maybe we'll just call them nuggets. I don't know. But maybe. We'll see. So that's what I have for you today. Look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to come back and join me tomorrow at 9:30, because from what I have been told from when I trained on this at the Warminster training, it's a good one from what I've heard. So I will just say, be sure to come on back for that. Missy says pearls of wisdom. Oh, we'll have to keep that in mind. I don't know. We'll see. So thank you guys again. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a blessed day and get out there and serve. Go serve somebody today. Go do something amazing for someone, because guess what? When you get out there and you bless somebody else, you will be blessed as well. So thanks so much, guys. Have an amazing day.